everyone, I'm Jill. Welcome back to my channel, Living to Do His Will. Today I'm going to talk about some things that might make some people a little uncomfortable. So if you're squeamish talking about bowel movements and digestive tracts, this video might not be for you. You might want to turn it off. I want to just share the real and nitty-gritty of this journey because I want to be able to look back on it 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and be able to see all the different points of where I'm at. So I'm a week into really comprehending what my body is capable of doing, what this journey is going to entail, and how it's reacting to everything that I've started to do. So as you know, I've been in my infrared sauna every night. I worked up to 15 minutes at 115 degrees. I started at 110. I think that's the lowest setting that it goes on, and I was in it at 10 minutes for the first 3 nights. Then I went up to 115, and now I'm at 15 minutes. In the next couple days, I'll be in there for 20 minutes every night, and then I'm going to work up to, in another 3 or 4 days, I'll work up to, by the end of next week, I'll be in there for 30 minutes. The longest I'll probably ever be in there is 40 minutes max, because I'm going to teach you guys about the benefits of being in the sauna, each increment, what it actually is doing in our body and how it helps increase our human growth hormone, and it's kind of like a workout. It's absolutely amazing for our bodies. So let's get to the part that I don't want to be embarrassed about, because we're all adults and it's really important to discuss these things. Number one, healing. I've talked about this plenty of times. Healing journeys can be like really uncomfortable and can cause incredible pain as we're going through them, just as much as it's really beneficial. As your body is learning to adjust and to heal, it can be painful, uncomfortable. I've been walking around with a incredibly painful bloated stomach. I've had gas. I'm not even sure like how to explain it, what it feels like, but it feels like my belly can't get any tighter. If you've experienced that, then you know the kind of pain that I've been walking around with. This has all started July 4th after having food poisoning, and the incredible pain that I experienced after that, because I had 2 torn stomach muscles from how violently ill I got. I'll never be eating a pork product again, that's for sure, because pork products, ham, bacon, ground pork, pork sausage, any of that stuff carries parasites. No matter the quality, I'm never trusting it again. It's one of the #1 causes of parasites. But I'm pretty positive I've had parasites since I was a kid, and like I've told you guys, we all have parasites. So day 1, I didn't sweat when I was in the sauna. Day 2, I kind of felt a little bit warmer. By day 3, I was totally sweating. For me, it was a huge thing. I had sweat on my neck, underneath my arms, down my back, on my stomach, on my legs a little bit. Day 4, 5, 6, and 7, I've been sweating on and off. Yesterday was the best sweat that I've had, and I checked in with the company just to ask a few questions, because since I'm going to be educating everybody on using them, I wanted to really understand, is it beneficial to be in the sauna 4 times a day at 10 minutes, 3 times a day at 10 minutes, and get yourself up to 30 minutes, or is it just the benefit of being in it at one time? They said it's the best thing to do is only one time. So you really want to make sure you set aside time every single day to be able to be in the sauna to get the benefits. It's at one time, because of what happens as you're in there can only happen at each increment of minutes. It's not going to happen if you're only in there 10 minutes at a time or 15 minutes at a time. It really does get the greatest benefit by 30 minutes. So that's what you really want to work up to. 30 minutes is ideal. If you stay in there for a little bit longer, it's okay, but the ideal time is really 30 minutes. Every other day, I'm bloated again. So for the last week, I've been bloated just from adding in some of the supplements that I'm using to help clear out my digestive tract, because I am a person who unfortunately goes one way or the other. I'm either constipated or I have diarrhea. There's very rarely a normal in between. I don't have normal. But the more that I've learned about the parasites and heavy metal toxicity and mold toxicity and chemical toxicity, it all makes sense. I've shared a little bit about the fact that if you do not, especially yesterday's video, I really shared about on Thursday, just in case you're watching this another time. So today's October 1st, just in case you're catching this at a later time. So I really realized how important it is that you have to make sure that your drainage pathways are cleared. It's really vital that if you have a rebounder, you want to be rebounding. If you are you're the kind of person who will do dry brushing, do the dry brushing, because you want to help your lymphatic system drain every single day. It's important to do that outside of being in the sauna every single day. It's really important to make sure that you're incredibly hydrated, that you're drinking very pure water, that you're adding a really good high quality salt to it, because you want to make sure your electrolytes are balanced. You want to make sure that you're never dehydrated, because anytime you're dehydrated, it's really hard on your body to process and get rid of the toxins that are trapped inside of you. And you don't want anything trapped. You want to really make sure that you're able to move it all out. I can't express that enough. I've had like hard days. Like there's days where my brain fog has just been absolutely like off the charts. 1 to 10, it's been like a 10.5. I've also had days this week where I just felt achy. Like my joints were incredibly achy. Like I would call them like all the autoimmune issues. I had a flare in that area like every other day. The more that you're starting to make things move, and I'm not at the point where I thank God I haven't seen them yet. I think I've seen a fluke here and there from my liver. I think I've seen small parasites leaving, like little tiny worms leaving and parasites and stuff, but I have not gotten to the point where I'm really getting to the nitty gritty. And I don't think that's going to happen until I start the next full moon series of really doing the true full detox and the regimen, which is you start like anywhere from 1 to 3 days before the full moon. You're using your bowel mover, because you want to make sure that that is definitely working. You want to make sure that you have a binder. You want to make sure that you have a good probiotic. You want to make sure that you have something that's going to kill the parasites. That everything that I'm going to be explaining to you is an all-in-one. So like when you do this, you're going to be pulling out all the heavy metals, you're going to be pulling out all the excess toxins that are in your body, and you're going to be pulling out the mold, and you're going to be pulling out the parasites all at once. So if you don't do this correctly, and if you try and rush to do it all at once and you want results the first time, you're going to have some like not fun symptoms, and you could make yourself sicker. Not sick or dangerous, just sicker. Well, could be, maybe, I don't know, depending on your circumstance. I can only talk about for myself. But you could make yourself sicker because your body isn't able to release the toxins, and it needs help to do that. So my first week I would say was an okay week. I've had, like I said, brain fog. I've had digestive issues. I'm not hungry, which is definitely a sign and symptom of when you've got the parasites. My tinnitus has been off the charts, which is another sign and symptom of all the different toxicities going on in the parasites. And my jaw, I literally can't even tell you the grinding that I have been doing. I wake up and I feel like my teeth are about to fall out of my mouth because they're so incredibly sore. So I just want to encourage all of you to make sure that you are doing the right steps. And the right steps, again, are taking care of your drainage pathways first. Make sure you're having bowel movements every single day. Make sure that you're sweating. That's why the sauna is incredibly integral to this thing. This is like a huge benefit. I've been wanting one for years, and the fact that I found this company and I'm able to share it with all of you is just such a blessing. And I want to like save you some trouble. That's why I want to share my experience, because I believe, like I've said before, and I'm going to keep saying it, if I saw somebody else's video, which I have, and they healed themselves, it gives me confidence that I could do it myself. And I know that I don't have to be afraid of whatever I'm facing. So just be encouraged and know that the body was created. God created it this way so that we could heal. We just live in a very toxic environment. We weren't created to live in a toxic world that we live in today, with all the EMFs, with all the cell phones, with all the computers, with all the poles all over the place, with dirty water that we can't escape because of what the government gives us, and the air pollution that we have, and the amount of cars and people and just everything, and airplanes, and the acid rain, and all these things that we deal with. We're dealing with them because of the fact that there's just so much greed, right? And we just have to do the best we can, because we can't avoid all the pesticides. You can't avoid all the chemicals all the time. You just do the best you can. So start with these 3 things. Number 1, make sure that you're drinking purified water. Spend the money. Go on to Thera3's website, first of all. use my code, because why not? Get a discount, get their water pitcher, and help your body get really clean, pure water. You can get their bubbler machine, which helps to clean off all vegetables, all fruit, and highly oxygenates the water and kills off bacteria. People use it if they want to use their water. They boil the water, they boil coffee for their enemas, and it's really good to use a bubbler because you're going to have more oxygen and just more power to your enema. It's just incredible. They just have great products. I'm just really impressed with them. I'm very thankful that I found them. I'm thankful that they gave me a code to share because it really does help. The other thing is if you can get yourself a sauna, get one. But if you can't, you got to figure out how to get yourself sweating every single day. You got to sweat. You got to do lymphatic drainage. If you don't do dry brushing, start dry brushing. It's really cheap to get a dry brush and start. You work your way from the bottom of your body all the way up to your heart. Every motion is to your heart. If you've never dry brushed before, everything comes back to your heart. Your final strokes all come back to your heart. Even your neck, you do it down and it goes to your heart. Down your back, towards your heart. Up your belly to your heart. From your legs, you go down and then you finish coming up to your heart. You have to do these things to really help your body. You got to make sure that you're sleeping, that you do have that pure water, and you want to make sure that you're sweating. Sweating is so important. So those are the three things. Really good quality water, really important that you're sleeping, and really important that you're sweating every single day. And I just can't even just express to you how great and thankful I am that I'm able to sweat now for like the first time in years. I was a dancer when I was a child and up until I was 19, and it really took a long time for me to be a sweater, even as a kid. I only sweat when I work outside doing yard work during the summer and it's like 90 degrees and I'm really out there working. I'll sweat, but I won't even sweat as much as everybody else that's out there doing the same yard work with me. I just have a really big problem with it, but I understand now how all of that is tied together and how it's all blocked. I just read more information last night about how our endocrine system and all the systems are all so delicately tied together that one doesn't work well without the other. So we need to really understand that this cohesiveness that we're doing, that's why it's never good to just go after a symptom. You have to heal the whole entire body, and that's what's so powerful about doing these types of cleanses, and why it's even important to do it during the full moon, because during a full moon, our serotonin and melatonin levels, the balance gets changed. You have a higher level of serotonin, and the parasites and all of it just goes wild, and they reproduce then. And that's when you want to do as much as you can to kill off, because they're hiding. They are not just like, hey, look, I'm over here. You need to send something over here. The other thing is that I'll start talking to you guys about the supplements that I'm using. That's one of the things that I'm putting in the PDF, because I feel like it's really important that you use high quality supplements. You want to make sure that you have enough vitamin D3. You want to make sure you have enough vitamin C in your body. You want to make sure you have enough magnesium. You want to make sure that you're eating a well-balanced diet, that you're not eating a ton of carbs, because all the carbs turn into sugar, and the parasites love sugar, and so do all the bad cells in our body, and we don't want to feed them. Incorporate fasting as long as you're healthy enough to do it. Get into fasting. I fast every Friday. Today is Friday, so today was a big fast day for me. I'm not hungry, so it actually worked to my favor. When my stomach is really bloated and I'm like so incredibly uncomfortable, I don't want to eat because it just gets more bloated after I eat. So I don't even know if I'll eat dinner. We'll see. I'll drink bone broth. I have digestive teas that I drink, and I just use different things to help calm my stomach down. And a good quality probiotic is absolutely essential. So as you're on this journey and as you're doing all this, remember, I'm just going to come here and share what I've experienced, what I'm experiencing. And, you know, like some days I'll feel like I'm completely constipated, and the next day I'll feel like I can go really easily. I've had some like very full bowel movements. I don't know what other word to use, just like pretty big bowel movements, and I can't believe that you have that much inside of you. But you're going to be shocked at the level once you start to tell the body to release. You're going to be shocked at how much comes out of you and how much keeps coming out of you and keeps coming out of you. When you really go after and do the cleanse, you want to make sure that you have at least 3 or 4 days where you're near a bathroom, because you're going to need it. You're going to want to have the time to release as many times as your body wants to, and everybody's body reacts differently to doing a cleanse. Some people will release easily, other people will release and it'll just be their body just I can't even express how much it's going to want to let go of. And they won't feel sick. Some will feel sick. It all depends on how your body reacts to what you're going to be giving it, and the protocol that you follow, and the supplements that you use, and if you're sweating, sleeping, drinking. It's really important. You want to kill off, you want to sweat, and then you want to bind it to make it come out. It's really important that you do those 3 steps: kill, sweat, bind. Kill, sweat, bind. Just remember them. They are your 3 very important steps to this entire process. And you're not going to do it just one time. You're going to do it probably, you'll know when you feel better. You can even get it tested. You can go to your doctor, do all the things to figure out when you are done doing it. But I would definitely be doing this at least twice a year. For me, I'm probably going to do it for the next 4 to 6 months as I see what happens once a month on the full moon. So I hope you guys had a blessed week. This was a challenging week for me, and I'm learning so much. It's sometimes extremely overwhelming when I first go off to do research. I feel like God just like piles it on. He gives me like a rainstorm of information, and I'm just like, okay, Lord, now what? And then I just take time. I get really still. I had a good time at adoration today and was really still before Jesus. And I just feel like that's the time where I can clear my mind and just let it all go and know that he's going to help me put it all back together. So I just pray blessings over each of you. I pray that you know that you are held by the Father's love, that he's in control, that even you finding this information, that you were introduced to me somehow, that he led you here somewhere else through somebody, and somebody shared a video with you or whatever. I'm thankful, because it's so important that we work on healing our body, because it's a holy vessel. It's his, and we need to honor it by taking care of it. And this is a really important way to take care of it, is doing these detoxes and cleanses a few times a year outside of fasting. They're a whole different animal. Fasting has one benefit, and cleansing and detox has a whole other one, because it helps all the systems work really well. So I wish you guys a blessed weekend, and thank you for watching and being here. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. Let me know how you're doing. Definitely reach out. I just had someone reach out to me today, so thank you via email, and I appreciate hearing your journeys. It's a blessing to me, because then I can take it to prayer, and it's just really good. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Have a blessed weekend.